إن ظنا أن يقيما إن ظنا أن يقيما حدود الله وتلك حدود الله يبينها لقوم يعلمون.
نعم.
So, if a husband divorces his wife, then it is not lawful for him to remarry her until after she has married another man and then is divorced. Then it is permissible for them to reunite as long as they feel they are able to maintain the limits of Allah.
No.
These are the limits set by Allah, which He makes clear for people of knowledge.
No. So here, فَإِن طَلَّقَهَا here means the third time.
Yes.
Yes. فَإِن طَلَّقَهَا then after the third time, لا تحل له. It's not halal for him. خلاص, it is done. حتى تنكح زوجا غيره. It's very clear. Until she gets married to a man that's a different man. Okay? Now, this is also abused. Okay? As if we didn't, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not all knowing and all, aware of what we do. And of course, the famous way to fix this, in unlawful way is to do this without consummating the marriage. Meaning you get somebody to marry her on paper and then divorce her afterwards. No, the marriage has to be consummated. Okay, it has to be consummated. She gets married in a contract that is a sound contract, because the marriage contract does not have a time limit. You cannot get married and say, I'm going to marry this woman for a week, and then a divorce will happen. The marriage contract does not have a time limit in it. Okay, it's not part of the contract itself. So you cannot do that. Then if she happens, so if everything happens normally meaning according to really the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the third divorce happened because they cannot really live with one another, and actually this sometimes it happens. Sometimes that they are both hard-headed so much, okay, that they think that the life is going to be better without you, this and that, and they do not appreciate one another, okay, and both want this to be done, and when it is done, they realize that life cannot continue without the other one, okay, but they cannot go back. Okay. How do they know that the life cannot continue without the other one? Because they both sometimes get married, or she gets married, okay, and realizes the quality that her husband had. Because now the marriage that she's in is truly a miserable marriage. Okay? And now the first marriage she was making herself miserable. Okay? And this is most of the cases are it is the one who comes in and complain, okay, they complain always about the other side, which is normal, right? You come in and complain about the other side, but rarely they point at themselves. Rarely they put at themselves, because they are part of the problem. It is like you find that a couple are coming and imagine a beautiful plant, okay, there, okay, and now neither one of them is willing to water the plant, and see the plant is dying, okay, and you try to tell them, come on, yes, the other one is refusing to water the plant, but you are refusing to do it as well, okay, just never mind about the other person completely, do your part, okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives an advice in this, okay, that idfa billati hiya ahsan, push back with that which is more beautiful, push back with that which is more beautiful, In other words, somebody's pushing you in a bad way, push him back with kindness. So what happened in this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you the result. The result is the one that you have animosity with, he will be like a close friend. Okay? Now, but it takes a very mature person to be able to do that. It takes a very mature person and one who fears Allah. and I've seen it. Okay, that you know, the wife, she knows now, after counseling, she knows that she is part of the problem. Jazakallah khairan. And she realizes that she needs to work on herself. And now in the counseling, now she knows how to stop doing what she's doing to irritate the husband. And now she is told how to be nice with the keys for her husband. Because after the counseling, you have, you know who they are and so forth. So you recommend a certain treatment, a certain, ways to win the husband's heart. Okay? But now, in order for a woman to do that, she has to really work on herself. Because the husband will test her. Okay? Just to make it, understanding. There was a case of and somebody who wrote this, who's not Muslim, but he's just dealing with human trait and human emotions and so forth. So he is the one who this happened to him. He was saying that he had a problem with his son. His son is a teenager or in his early 20s. And they are living together, okay, in the same house. And they're having a lot of problems. Okay? And they both, and it comes to yelling and shouting and throwing things and things like that. And then he said, I was waiting one day at night, waiting for my son to come home. He's very late. And I cannot, I love him and so forth. I want to make sure everything's, anyway. So he's saying, I sat down very angry waiting for him. So he said, I got flashcards. And I decided I'm going to write in the flashcards what my problem, the problem that he's given, his faults. I'm going to write the faults of my son. Okay? And he said, I wrote one, and then I wrote another card, and he said I had a stack now of cards. When he comes, I'm going to tell him, I'm going to do this, and that. And then he said, he was very late, so he said, just to be fair, I'm going to write, right or wrong, but I'm going to write his complaint about me. Okay, the son's complaint about me, right? So he said, I became an adult, okay? And to write it down now. So he said, I flipped the card, okay, each one and write. And then I ran out of cards, I got some other cards to put. He said his complaints was more than mine. Okay? And he said it doesn't matter if it was sound or not, but it is his complaint. Right? I mean, something's bothering him about me. Right? Then he said, I decided this moment, okay, when I admitted my this, I decided at this moment that this is not going to be fixed until I fix myself. Okay? And he said, as soon as I made that decision, he came through the door. As soon as he came through the door, he said, What? What do you want? He said, I'm sorry, son, I was just worried about you. Good night. And the son, like, what? You're not going to argue, right? And he said, the following day, I was passing by, okay, his room, and he was sitting in his bed reading, so I turned the lights on for him. So he said, what is it? Why did you do that? He said, I'm sorry, son. I thought maybe you need the light to read. He said, you don't have to do this. I said, okay, and turn it off and walk. Okay. And he said, this is what I did. Okay. And he said, sometimes he felt that the son is testing him, because now he thinks that his father is doing this for a reason, right? For a reason, especially if it is husband and wife, and there is, physical relationship and so forth. If the husband becomes nice, okay, now you're being nice, and then you get what you want, and then what happened afterward, and all of that, right? So he said, my son seems to be testing me, okay? And I kept doing this. This is basically what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, idfa' billati hiya ahsan. Push back with that which is beautiful. And then he said, and I remember that moment, he said that my son broke down. He said, I was sitting in the kitchen, eating dinner, and son walks in and goes and get his plate and sits in front of me on the table, and he start opening a conversation. He said, and that's it. Things were solved at that moment. Okay? But what I'm saying is sometimes just it cannot work that way, because it is just the damage is so much. Okay? But it works. This is an advice that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives. But in order for one to really work with this advice, is to know the keys for each other. To know the keys for each other. Okay? And again, the key for each other is one key for women and one key for men, that is for all women and all men. And then it goes to different keys after that. It depends on the individual. But generally, okay, I remember one case. A woman, and I know who she is. I don't know who she is. Okay, and that she called because she got my number from somebody. Okay, and she, put her grievances through it. He's doing this, doing that. So I let her empty every thing that she want to say, and then I said, okay, so what is your husband's complaint? And the first I give her, oh wow, did he do this? Oh no, I give her, make her comfortable. I'm listening to her, and then I said, so what happened? When he does this, I do this. And she admitted that she is a tit for tat. Okay, so I tell her, give me an example. She said, I was in the car the other day, and he goes and passes the exit. I said, you passed the exit. He said, oh, just stop it. I said, what, you are stupid. I said, and it goes in like this. So I said, okay, so didn't you know that a man does not like to be criticized? Any man, period, does not like to be criticized in anything that they do. And they like to be complimented. Okay? So if this is your attitude, I understand why your husband gets angry and frustrated, because you are looking at his faults and not leaving a second to pass by except when he makes something wrong and jump on it. This is miserable for any man. I'm not saying who's wrong and who's right, but this dealing this way, it cannot go on with any man. Okay? And then I said, okay, so what is good about your husband? Does he do anything good? Okay. And she started saying something, and then she goes back of what he did. I said, no. Go back. Then she started, then go. I said, no, stay on. Remember, your mind now is thinking about what he's doing good. List it for me. And she gave a list. She had to force herself to give a list. And after she gave a list, I said, if divorce happens, a lot of women will be waiting to marry your husband. Look at it. Read what you said. She said, yeah. I said, okay. So the solution is just do not criticize him in anything and try to compliment him, even in little things. And things, inshallah, works out. She never called back. Okay. Allah A'lam what happened and so forth. But she was very happy at the end and she was laughing and said, Alhamdulillah and all of this. Okay. That is on the husband's side. Okay. But on the wife's side also, you get the man is complaining. And you do the same thing with the man. And it turned out to what? He never really listened to his wife. Never really, once she wants to say something, he thinks that she's coming to him for a solution. Okay? She's complaining because about work. You know what happened to work today and so forth? What happened? And she starts speaking and then he interrupts and says, because this has happened, you need not to know this. What about? And does not realize that the wife just wants to come home and speak and wants an ear to listen to. Okay? And he gets frustrated because he says, I give you this solution, now you're coming back and complaining about this. Did you try what I told you? Right? And she says, no. She says, see? And it becomes a completely different issue. Okay? And when a man realizes this, okay, and start to be an ear to his wife, things dramatically changes. Okay, and once he said, okay, he called back and he said, I tried it, it works. I said, okay, Alhamdulillah. And he said, the amazing thing is, after I listened, and I did not say, just said a couple of words, and so forth. She said, it was nice having a conversation with you today. It was not a conversation at all. But this is how Allah created us. Okay. And is there any details in all of this? Yes. Are there any exceptions here and there? Yes. Okay. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, idfa billatihi ahsan, push back in that which is more beautiful and kind, you have to know how to do this. And it takes learning. It takes learning. Okay? Yes.
So now is, for business, they open Khula Center.
Subhanallah. Khula Center.
Only for women? So they bring women for one night, and then so they give the divorce, go and do marriage. Now it's Khula Center, yes.
Another word, they're giving the woman to give a divorce almost.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the name in it, yeah.
Yeah.
Meaning, even somebody is not thinking about it, now you have a helper in it.
Yeah. See, he's saying that, and in our heritage, okay, the awqaf, you find people who are wealthy. Look at these problems in the society they are in, the village and so forth. And they have, I remember in our history, a man, he built a house, okay? And they called the house is the house for angry women, or women who are angry, okay? What he meant by that is if your husband, is bothering so much, or the problem so much, and you do not have a place to go. I'm building this house for the woman that can go until she blows the steam and feel better, and then go back. And now he's having a house for khula. Subhanallah. In Pakistan.
Nowadays the office is not like a center. But Khula also they have to wait like this 3 months.
No, khula is done.
But she has to wait 3 periods before she
To get married somebody, yes. But khula is done, yes.
Khula is
And they cannot get back together. Yes.
So it means the husband doesn't have to agree with it.
I do have a point actually. I'm not sure if, okay,
Yeah, you're right. Yes.
So it could be, a better thing for them, at least from that perspective.
Yes, yes.
So this way, so they open up, they're making money from both sides.
Yeah, but if there is, you're right, but if there is a judge in there, an Islamic court, then there is no need for a khula center.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
In Pakistan culture and also in India culture, it's very difficult for women to get out
Mhm.
and find those type of judge. Like
Mhm.
even they're discouraged to go to the mosque. They don't go to the mosque.
Mm.
Like you have a women section here, we don't have a women section in Pakistan.
Mhm.
So they're discouraged to go. So where do they go? So if they have some type of place where they feel safe and
Yes.
go and talk about this, I think this is actually a good thing rather
Yeah.
than bad, right? It's
Yeah.
from their perspective now.
Right, right.
You have to
Yeah,
think
we
from-
have to. Yeah, we have to talk to the one, see what, and to see how it is working. Yes, yes, yes. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair.
Our women do not know how to go to masjid,
Mm.
Right.
what to do when they go in the masjid.
Subhanallah. I grew up in Egypt as the same way.
Subhanallah.
Yes, it was the same way. Yes,
I think
but
when
when I went back after 8 years of being here, there are now masajid. All the masajid have women's sections.
Now,
Yeah,
at the
fine
hadith
now.
over there in Pakistan,
Uh-huh.
so they have for sisters.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Just for Ali hadith.
yeah,
Yes, those women know how to go to masjid, how to behave in the masjid,
yeah.
but not the other ones.
Alhamdulillah.
This is so
So women is prefer to pray at home.
Yes,
Generally, it's not like
yes,
compulsory for them
yes.
to go to masjid.
Mm.
I have one comment.
Yes, تفضل.
With the khula, the divorce becomes final.
Yes.
Like talaq
That's
ba'in.
why we say yes,
And it's just like 3 talaqs.
yes, yes, yes,
He cannot marry her again
Mm.
when she asks for khula.
yes.
It happened with my close relative that he.
It happens with.
My close relative.
Uh-huh.
So he did once talaq, and then before the period came back, and then second like that also came back, and third also, and period gone by,
Mhm.
and then everyone said that even the Darulooms or Fatwa came that it's done,
Mhm.
complete, it cannot be written back by doing that process, like another marriage, and
Mhm.
but he want to get her back again
Mhm.
after third talaq.
Mhm.
Then everyone said no to him, and then he went to the, like, there is a, as he said, Al Hadith in India, like, what is that called? In non-follow. So he got fatwa from them, and he got her back.
Mhm.
He did nikah, he just two friends of him, they went there, he did nikah, and they came back.
Mhm.
And he just died. So he lived life after that,
Yeah,
but he did that.
fresh nikah.
Yeah.
He did fresh nikah
Mhm.
without doing any that process
Yeah.
Mhm.
after third talaq.
Yeah.
This is the second
But
one.
that's a violation of the Quran that we just read.
Yeah, it depends on see, that was the divorce happen or didn't happen. You know, what did he say to the last person he went to? Okay, of how the divorce happened.
It was on paper. The people were all witnesses on that. My father was a witness on that. So it was clear talaq.
Mhm.
3 times also. It was on paper, by telegram, by court, by advocate,
Mhm.
everything. It
Yeah.
was very clear.
Allah, yeah. Allah musta'an. Allah musta'an.
It's a violation as far as I'm
Yes.
concerned from the,
Yeah.
it's a
So
violation of the
all,
Quran.
from all 4 jurisdictions, they said that it is done. But he went to the hadith.
They can't do that. They can't.
No, he went to one person. Let's not put all the hadith in the yeah, he went to one person. One person was able to do this, yes. Yes. Because Ahl Hadith, I'm sure they're not having a different law.
Yeah, but they did.
Yeah. Yeah, well, not they, one person did.
Yeah, probably that person.
Yes, yeah.
And because of that, a lot of people in our families.
But you don't know even what he said to him. You,
Yeah,
you
we
don't,
don't know whether he was right or he was saying lie.
yeah, he was telling me a different story. Yes.
But I think it's common, like, as he was saying, that is common, people know, and at least know what that can be done.
Mhm.
It's common.
They have to provide the dalil, right? You
Yeah.
cannot just
Yeah.
provide the proof.
Okay. Okay. Any other comments, inshallah? Okay. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. How many minutes do we have?